Hey guys, what's up? It's Jack Forever, and it's been too goddamn long. How you guys doing? I am back again. Jack is back, and I'm bringing out another video. And this one is the highly anticipated MGO version 1.10 version patch. And everybody's been wanting so many changes, and MGO has been like really crappy the last few months, and nobody's really liking the way the playstyle is and the balancing, and we need new maps. But Konami has answered our prayers, and they're putting out a shitload of changes, excuse my French, but shitload of changes and new maps for a DLC and a new character to play with. It's quiet, and I'm gonna get through all of it, and it's a ton, and I don't want to stretch this out for more than I have to because it's a lot of stuff. So yeah, with that being said, let's get right to it. These are the designer notes for 1.1, and first I'm just going to start off with the new maps. So the new maps is basically combined, it's with the DLC. So unfortunately it's not free. You have to pay, I think, $5 for the entire package, which comes with these three maps and quiet. So here are the three maps. So new maps. Initially, right, they say the only way to play the new maps is to purchase the expansion pack Cloaked in Silence. So Cloaked in Silence is going to come out March 15th, and once they have it on the PlayStation or the Xbox store, you can buy it, or on Steam. So first map is Coral Complex. Coral Complex is a dedicated mother-based environment allowing players to access tall towers, use storage containers, and other internal areas as cover for tactical advantage. Coral Complex mixes open areas and a myriad of hiding places. So I'm going to show you pics of each one as we go along. So right now I'm going to show you pics of Coral Complex. It just looks exactly like Mother Base. It looks cool. I'll give you my impressions in another video after I play with the DLC and I give it enough time and see how I feel about it. But right now everything looks cool. Next up is Rust Palace. Now Rust Palace is set within Afghanistan. The Rust Palace is a large multi-level building. The skeletal nature of a decrepit ruin means that cover is scarce, and the internal areas are rich in dusty rooms and high up sniping positions. So that sounds like fun. Next up is Azure Mountain. Azure Mountain is an open door plain under Africa baking sky. Ooh, baking. A small cluster of buildings offers scant cover with only derelict walls and occasional scrubland surroundings and massive rock known locally as the Cradle of Spirits. These three maps, if you play the Phantom Pain story, you would have gone across these maps before. So they're nothing really too new. They probably like throw a couple of like sandbags around and close off the environment in a way that you can't leave the map. But everything looks the same as before, but these maps look really cool, and I can't wait to play them when it comes out on the 15th. So those are the three maps, and let me know what you think about the maps below. Let me know what you think overall, because I really want to know what you guys think. If you guys are willing to pay $4 for these maps, or if you're really thinking that Konami's doing a crappy job, let me know. So next up is the new unique character, and the new unique character can only be purchased if you buy the expansion pack Cloaked in Silence, and Quiet is the new unique character that's coming down in the DLC. Quiet is a legendary sniper who can fire a sniper rifle with excellent accuracy. Her movement speed is extremely fast, which allows unique jumping abilities over high steps where normally a player would need to climb a ladder. She can temporarily cloak while sprinting to activate a boost in movement speed. So that sounds pretty incredible. I've seen how one of the guys at Konami was playing one day, I think it was last week or the week before, Quiet, and she was pretty alright. She was pretty awesome. I mean, her sniping abilities were stellar, but the guy who was playing it kind of was, he kind of sucked. But she was playing pretty good, and I just can't wait to see how people use her abilities in new ways, and figure out how good Quiet is. If Quiet is better than Snake or Ocelot, because Ocelot is overpowered to begin with. Snake is okay, but it's good to see how Quiet bounces off of Ocelot and Snake. So it's gonna be pretty cool. Adding a setting on the create match screen for selecting the unique character that will be assigned to each team. So now you can assign specific characters to specific teams instead of it being random. If you're on Solid, you'll get Snake, for example, or if you're on Liquid, you will get Ocelot or Quiet. So you can assign that when you create the match at the beginning. All right, so a new section is new mission. The new mission is called Sabotage. And Sabotage is, well, let me just read it. Attackers must destroy or Fulton the enemy missile before the round expires. To access the missile, attackers must first hack into the terminals to deactivate the EM barrier, which means electromagnetic barrier. That is protecting the missile from any incoming attacks or Fultons. Once the terminals are hacked and the EM barrier is deactivated, defenders can choose to reactivate the EM barrier or protect the missile. So it sounds pretty cool. So, and I've seen that on whenever those guys were doing the Twitch broadcast, I've seen that as well. It is pretty fun. So can't wait to get that. And by the way, this is actually free. So anybody that has Metal Gear Online, you don't have to buy the DLC for this. It just comes free when the update, the patch is, I guess, required on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, when you boot up your PS4 and you log into MGO, Sabotage will be there once you download the patch. Appeal actions. Appeal actions has been added. Players can customize the appeal action slots for each of their characters in the customization menu. There are a total of 5 customizable appeal actions slots: neutral, up, down, left, right. Once the player activates appeal actions mode by pressing down on the right stick, use the left stick trigger to trigger the poses set for each direction. In order to activate a buddy link with the teammate, hit the action button while in appeal action mode. A teammate must respond to your request in order for a buddy link to be established. We know that already. There are additional appeal actions available for purchase in the store. So appeal actions are basically these, these stupid poses that you do to make it look goofy and to make give it a little lightheartedness to MGO. I will not be purchasing this pack. There's a pack that's free, and then there's a pack that you have to pay $1 for. They're just really ridiculous. I mean, you can have fun and make some cool videos from them, but I'm not gonna purchase these stupid things. But to each his own. Next section is dedicated host. Now this is something that everybody's been wanting for a very long time. The dedicated host feature has been added to only PS4, Xbox One, and Steam. Sorry, last generation. By setting yourself as a dedicated host, you can now spectate a match without participating in that match. You can set yourself as a dedicated host when creating a match. So you can create a match or a playlist. You could be the host, not being in the game, and let that thing run for as long as possible. So those type of things, like the spectate, if you're the host, those things are coming back. That was in MGO 2. And now it's coming into MGO 3. So really excited about that. Especially if you have like a really cool game mode or like a cool game list that everybody likes or something like that. You can, you could Twitch from it. You could broadcast from being dedicated host all day long. You don't even have to be at the PS4 to even do anything, or your game console, or on Steam, or your PC, or whatever. So that's cool. GP Boost. Now, GP Boost can now be purchased using MB coins. The GP Boost gives the player a higher rate of GP obtained from matches. GP Boost does not apply to GP earned throughout titles/medals or GP that are given out as compensation. GP Boost can be purchased from the iDroid menu, Vault GP Boost. So basically, if you have MB coins to spend, and I know probably most of you do, I don't know, I do, I have a shitload. And you could do this, you could buy a GP Boost and it would just boost your character up. And if you're level 1, you use MB coins to purchase a GP boost, your level 1 can now be a level 15. Easy. So that's it for people out there who don't really care about playing 50 games to become level 50. Character slots. Some people has been requesting it, and now it's coming down in the next update. Character slots can now be purchased with MB coins. Shit, everything is MB coins. Allowing you to create more than 3 characters. Purchasing a new character slot allows you to create a brand new character in that slot. One account can now hold up to 8 character slots. So if you have one account, one PSN or one Xbox Live account, you can now purchase up to 8 character slots. So now that we had 3, you could purchase some MB coins, purchase a character slot, and you could get from 3 to 8. So that's pretty significant. That's pretty cool. I might do that. I'm not too sure. Just to have like a nice, like, I don't know, different characters or whatever. I already have the top 3. I mean, the only 3 classes. I have, you know, Enforcer, Infiltrator, and Scout. I mean, if they came out with more classes, I'm not sure what the other classes would be. It would be pretty interesting, but I don't know. Maybe I may have gave them an idea there. All right, anyway. So yeah, there's that. Next up is player rank. Now, this is blowing everything out the water here. It's not even thinking about Ascension. Ascension is getting kicked out. This thing is just gonna overthrow everything. This is showing you real skill here. Let me read it. A new rank feature has been added. All players start out with rank F. There are a total of 21 ranks, with the highest being S++. Rank is bound to your user account rather than each character. The scoreboard and the briefing screen now shows each player's rank instead of their character level. Your current rank can be viewed from the personal stats screen. So basically, think of it as the mother base soldiers on the Diamond Dogs. So you go around, you just Fulton these guys. That's like, you know, rank E or D or C. So you know S is the best, you know, in terms of being skillful. So if you have an S, that means you're doing pretty good. If you have an F, that means you kind of suck. So anything in between, you're pretty all right. So the more games you play, the more your rank goes up, and then, you know, you can tell yourself like, oh, okay, yeah, so I'm a level B, you're a level A, so A is better than B, S is the best. So this is actually pretty cool. I like this idea. They had this idea in MGO2. It was levels. So it's like if you're level 16, 17, 18, you're pretty good. Same thing applies here, but it's just using letters to define that. So that's free as well. That comes out on Tuesday, March 15th. Next up is a new weapon, and I think everybody's been requesting. The combat knife has been added. This weapon has been added as an additional secondary weapon. I don't think you need to... I think you could dequip it from your customization. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I mean, you can carry that around now. I don't even think it carries any weight. God, I hope not. This weapon has been added as an additional secondary weapon. A knife kill score has been added. Unique character Snake can switch between his prosthetic arm and a combat knife. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Combat knife. I've seen it. The guy from Konami was playing with it on Twitch a while before. He wasn't too good with it, so you can't really get a good grasp of it. But I can't wait till people use it to their own advantage and use it, you know, skillfully, I should say. All right. Next up, titles and medals. New titles have been added: Scorpion, Hyena, and Scarab. Those sounds familiar if you're an MGO2 vet. Yeah. New medals have been added: Knife, Missile Fulton, Missile Destroy, Missile Damage, and Terminal Hack. A new piece of gear, BDU, and t-shirt has been added, which can be customized with the title images that you have to obtain. So basically, if you have they're bringing out a t-shirt that you can have hopefully for free. I think it's for free. And if you have a title, say for instance, you were a Dobe, and you could print that on your t-shirt and wear it around, and just make it look cool. I don't know. It's pretty cool. Like, say for instance, if somebody's out there as Foxhound, like one of those gods out there, Foxhound, they could make a Foxhound shirt and walk around and say like, hey, yeah, I got Foxhound before, blah blah blah. Even though you're not Foxhound now, you could still show it off. You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool. I like that. They had that in MGO2 as well. So they're like they're listening to us, which I like. I mean, they could just fucking ignore us all they want, but they're actually listening to some of these ideas and they're taking it to heart and they're putting it into the game, which is cool. So I can't wait to see what more they can put into this game. So that's why I'm kind of keeping with it, you know? I'm not exactly abandoning it just yet. Next up is waking up stun / tranquilized teammates. A new action to wake up stun / tranquilize teammates has been added. The action can be triggered by pressing and holding the action button next to a stun / tranquilize teammate. The kick action can no longer be used to wake up stunned players. Continue to hold down the action button until your teammate wakes up. Waking up a teammate will give you an assist score. So this was a big thing in Cloak and Dagger. Big thing. I'm playing Cloak and Dagger, and whenever I would just basically snipe somebody and knock them out, their teammate would just run up and kick them, and then they wake up. And then I would snipe that guy. And even if I sniped that guy, the other guy would wake up and kick the guy that I just knocked down. So, and then they have this stupid grace period bullshit where you can't, like when you snipe both of them at the same time, or a couple of seconds after they wake up, they can still like run off, and then they just take cover, and that's it. And then I'm pretty much screwed. So this is actually pretty cool. So like if somebody comes up to you, if someone's knocked down, you just knock somebody out, another teammate, one of their teammates come and try to wake them up, they keep tapping them to wake them up, you can knock that guy out, and then they're both knocked out. So it's more of it's more tactical now. So you need to like think about, should I risk my neck out for this guy to wake him up, or should I just take cover and take out the sniper, that type of stuff. So it's giving the attackers on Cloak and Dagger side a little bit more of an advantage. But this is overall. So basically, in Bounty Hunter, in Sabotage, or in Comm Control, you have to tap or hold down the action button to wake them up. And it gives you an assist score, so it gives you a nice little bonus. So that's pretty good. All right, next up is the Wormhole Fulton. Now this is huge. This is huge. Oh god, let me get through it. Once your buddy gauge is fully charged, you now have the option to use the Wormhole Fulton an enemy. When you use the Fulton Wormhole, your buddy gauge will reset to 0. The Wormhole Fulton will successfully Fulton enemies even if there is a roof. You mean a ceiling or whatever, it doesn't matter. So yeah, if they're in like a indoor, say you have a guy has a 30 ticket bounty on them, and your buddy gauge is full, you can use this Wormhole Fulton and wormhole them even if they're indoors, and no one can pop the balloon down. I mean, there's no balloon in a sense, you know what I mean? So this is big. So this is like making everybody think twice before killing someone, like say if you get a 7 bounty or 7 tickets on your head, you're thinking to yourself like, well shit, well maybe I shouldn't be killing as much, because anybody could just come up to you, knock you out, and Fulton you, and then the game is over. The tides just turn right then and there. So it's going to make people think twice before killing someone, which I like. I don't like killing nobody anymore. I mean, I kind of do sometimes, but I'm more towards Fultoning people. For me, it's just more rewarding and it's more fun. Killing people, I just lost my taste for it. I don't know why, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe some of you guys out there too, and maybe you guys don't care, but I'm just saying. All right. Next up, upgraded preset text. Text can now be selected by genre. There is a new log window that shows recently displayed pretext. Pretext can now be used on the briefing screen and spectator screen. I'm going to get to these, you know what, let me get to this blue stuff now, these blue entries. So basically, here's a screenshot of what I'm talking about. So the new UI is basically, is a little different, as you can see. There's like a little menu on the side, and you can like go through it, and then there's a preview. Like, so they're making it close to MGO2 status, but not that close. But I commend them for actually trying. So this looks pretty cool. It looks very I don't know. It looks very chic. I don't know what the fuck to say. So it's so I mean, it looks pretty cool. It's different. At least you can go through and see what people say. But it's still not MGO2. You know what I mean? It's not you're actually typing. They have these preset text, and you just select them from a menu, and then you just say whatever is on your mind. But it's not the same. But it's close. It's just not the same. So yeah. So there you go. All right, so next one up is the music, the new BGM set. So here's a list of all of the songs that are coming down, and I'm liking it. You know, you got the quiet theme, you have some revengeance going on. Peace Walker, you got I don't know how to pronounce that Japanese thing, but that it was the last song when you fought Paz in the in Zeke. So I like that song. Don't judge me, please. Then you got some Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance. I like some Substance. And Metal Gear Acid 2. Oh, that has some good songs. Got some good tunes. Metal Gear Acid. Oh my God, it's good. Zone of Enders, Ghost Babel, Black Chamber. Got some Jehudi. Police Knot, Snatcher, Lunar Nights. So all this is just like Konami games down here. So yeah, that's cool. That's a lot. That's a lot of shit. All right, so next up is weapon and item. All right, so first, shooting while standing in third-person camera will now cause the bullet to travel toward the center of the aim reticle if the target is located within a certain range. This is kind of weird because it kind of made it seem that, like, okay, if you were standing in the center of the reticle before and if you had a certain range, it wasn't hitting you. So I don't know if they're taking away a bullet drop or what, but it just made it seem that, like, okay, before when you shot somebody, if they're in the middle of your screen, it wasn't hitting them. So now it's hitting them now, you know? So it's kind of bullshit. I don't know. Kind of just made it weird. I mean, if you guys understand what that means, let me know in the comments below, because I'm a little confused about it. Anyway, significantly reduced camera sway when taking damage while aiming a weapon, which is cool. That's good. The Woos pistol, yeah, and the Renov, the sniper rifle that knocks people out. Tranquilized darts now penetrate through cardboard boxes. That is huge. That is another goddamn huge update. That was so big. That was so big in Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger is like one of the game modes where everybody just walks around in boxes and they just come to you when they see you, they just rush you with the cardboard box and you have nothing to do but try to CQC them. You know, that's the only advantage you have against the cardboard box. But now you can shoot through it. People are going to think twice before rushing out there. They're going to be more. There's going to be more slower gameplay or slower pace, which is supposed to be the case. You can't rush anything. Nothing should be rushed in Cloak and Dagger. It should be methodical, tactical. You know, mark people step by step. That's it. But now it's giving attackers a little bit more of an advantage, which I like. I was never really a fan of the cardboard box. I would only use it for cardboard popping out of the cardboard box in MGO2. But this cardboard box is just really OP, man. It's just out there, but whatever. So yeah, that one was huge. They adjusted the throwing curve for all throwing weapons. So now check this out. Check the picture here. It's showing more. In the old version, you see that there's a rainbow effect, but now in the new update, it's more kind of like shooting towards the enemy or shooting towards the target. So I like this a lot because if you would have a stun grenade and you would throw it, it had too much of a rainbow effect. It had so much hang time that when you throw it in the air, it would explode before it even hit the dude. So now you have it more shooting straight. It has a little bit more projectile, and it would get to the enemy faster, and by the time it hits the ground, then it would explode. So I kind of like that. So I like that, the fact that they saw that as a problem. Increased the weapon sway for all machine guns and the serval. Adjusted the marking conditions for the E-locator. So this is big. This is another big one. Players will now get marked if they stay within the E-locator's effective radius for a certain period of time. The duration required to mark enemies with the E-locator is evaluated by the duration required to mark enemies through the binoculars. So basically, if you throw an E-locator and if it touches you, you have a certain time frame to get out of that E-locator's radius before you're marked. So there's no more throwing it, getting marked automatically, and, you know, somebody rushing you and killing you. Now it's a little bit more of, okay, I throw an E-locator at your feet. You have about 2 seconds before you're marked. If you get out before you're marked, you're good. If you don't, you're marked. So that's a big one. I'm sure everybody is going to change their loadouts on Tuesday, or the scouts anyway. Reduce the effective the effective radius and duration of the E-locator. So if you get marked, it's probably going to unmark you in about 10 seconds or so. So That's what I mean. They're really nerfing the E-locators now, man. It's gonna be very interesting come Tuesday. Lengthen, excuse me, the firing interval of the serval. So basically, it's gonna, instead of it shooting like pop, 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 it's gonna be shooting pop, 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 like that. So they're nerfing the scouts. They're really trashing them right now. Reduce the ammo count for the hull. That's the grenade launcher. Increase the projectile travel speed of the Grom and the so basically the rocket launchers. Yeah, they're increasing the projectile speed. So basically, they're going to travel faster, but it's not going to really mean shit because there's another update. I think there's another balance or something like that to these rocket launchers later on. Increase the lock-on distance of the AM, the WU-S33 Tornado, and the Geist P3. So those pistols are going to get a longer lock-on range. So if you have auto aim or auto lock or whatever it's called enabled with a certain distance, say if it's 10 meters, you'll be able to like trace the guy a little bit more if they're walking, or you can hit your target a little bit more easily with these pistols. Reduce the lock-on distance for all machine guns. So the big machine guns that you see the enforcers walk around with, the lock-on distance is they have to be a little bit closer to lock onto their target. So it's going to require a little bit more of a moving up the thumbstick to kill your target. So yeah. Next up, it is no longer possible to lock on the players who are in the following states. If they're cloaked, you cannot auto aim on them. Diving, if they dive out the way, you can't auto aim on them. Unmoving inside of the cardboard box when in a crouch state, and sliding in a cardboard box. So those are the conditions you cannot auto aim on somebody with any weapon. Reduce the weight of the stealth camo and decoy. So the weight overall for stealth camo and the decoy is going to go down. So if you have your stealth camo on there and you're a C, it might go down to a B. So this is good news for infiltrators. Reduce how much movement speed is slowed down, and reduce the expansion of noise radius when equipping the stealth camo with stealth camo level 2 or lower. So when you turn it on, the sound of the stealth camo is going to get reduced, and also the movement speed. So if you have it equipped and on, instead of moving like a goddamn slug, they're going to move you with a little bit more of a pace. So with a little bit more of a better pace. So that's good. So they're giving 2 thumbs up to infiltrators now. Increase the charm duration for players when they see the plushie entranced by a plushie snare. All right, whatever. So basically, when an enemy look at a plushie snare, instead of it taking 3 seconds for them to get, wake up or knock out of it, it's going to take about 6 seconds. I'm just throwing numbers out there, but that's what that means. Next up, increase the durability of suppressors. Nice. So if you have a suppressor on any gun, instead of taking an exactly 1 clip for it to deplete, this probably might take 2. I don't know. We have to wait to see how long or how increased durability it's going to have when March 15th. Increase the explosion radius of the C4. Nice. Okay, so that's it. Next is ability adjustments. Ability adjustments is reduce the effect of faster enemy marking for the Intel Plus ability. So it's going to take a little bit longer for you to mark the enemy now with Intel. Reduce the effective or wider E-locator effective range for the Intel 3 ability. So they're going to decrease the radius of the E-locator. Even if you have Intel 3, they're going to decrease that as well. But that goes hand in hand with whatever that other section before when they said they're going to decrease the E-locator radius. So yeah. Increase the effect of the duration of the marker placed on the player decreases for the anti-marking plus ability. So I hate the way they say these things. It's like So basically, in the anti marking is going to be longer for if you're marked and you have the anti marking on you. It's going to stay on a little bit longer. The mark is going to stay on you a little bit longer. So that's what that means. Reduce the effective. I don't know why I keep saying that. Shit. Reduce the effect of increased damage of all weapon explosions for the Demolition Plus ability. So they're going to decrease the. So Demolition Plus is like, you know, the explosions would be a little bit more of a bang. So they're going to decrease that a little bit. So that's gonna suck. Reduce the homing effect of the Fulton Punch with the Fulton level 3 ability. So instead of it being like a you know, like a magnet to you, it's gonna take a little bit more of a, you know, it's just gonna have to be a little bit harder for the infiltrators to lock onto you with the Fulton Punch. So they're nerfing that. Scoring adjustments. Now, scoring adjustments, first up is the increase the amount of the score earned by headshot and Walker Gear destruction. So that's good. More points for headshots, more points for Walker Gear destructions. Good, good. Reduce the score penalty for suicide during Cloak and Dagger. Yeah, because if you mistakenly kill yourself in Cloak and Dagger, it was 1,000 points, and that would just like, you might as well just like turn off the game at that point, because 1,000 points is a lot in Cloak and Dagger. So they're going to decrease it probably to 500 or something like that. So that's good news. Reduce the amount of score earned for Interrogate. So Interrogate, instead of taking probably 250, it's probably going to take 100 now. So it's going to suck, man. I used to like interrogating, man. Ugh. All right, next, reduce the amount of score earned by comm link capture, comm link neutralize, comm defend, and during comm control. So yeah, so grabbing the base is no longer going to be 250 points. It's probably going to be like 100 points or something. So get those bases. All right, next up is damage adjustments. All right, increased damage output from the S1000. The Karabaga 83, the AM D114, the Geese P3, and the Uragan G. So those first two are the shotguns. The next two are pistols. One's like a Glock. One is like the traditional gun that you use in Snake Eater. And Uragan is like a revolver, but it's like a shotgun, something. It just it used to be a lot overpowered, so they're reducing the damage, or they're increasing the damage. Sorry, to that. So I think a lot more people are going to be using that the Uragan G, because it used to be a pain for me playing. Anyway, so next up is reduce the damage for all submachine guns, all assault rifles, all machine guns, all lethal launchers, grenades, and rockets, and mortars. So basically, they're just nerfing every single killing gun in the game. They're reducing the damage because I think people were complaining that it was just too easy to kill. So they're making it even harder. So that's good, I guess. Increase the stun damage output from the stun grenades. Okay. Reduce the stamina damage output from the Renov. That's the knockout sniper rifle. So they're reducing the stamina damage to that. Reduce stamina damage output from shield dash when using shield 3. Okay, I've seen a couple people use the shield dash, but now they're gonna nerf it even more, I guess. Okay, fine. I didn't see anybody complain about that, but whatever. Reduce stamina damage output from CQC hits or throws used when standing or crouching. Why? Like, I mean, one CQC slam doesn't even knock anybody out anyway, so why reduce it even more? Sorry, I was expecting someone to answer that question. But, yeah, so that's kind of weird. Not sure who would like complain about that. Maybe infiltrators, because infiltrators, if you slam them down and shoot them once in the chest with the woozy pistol, they get knocked out. Maybe, I don't know. I usually don't aim for the body. I usually aim for the head. But okay. Next up is increased stamina damage output for CQC hits from a prone state. So if you're prone, if you're laying down on the ground and you kind of like swing your arm or kick your leg, it's going to increase a little bit more stamina damage. Okay. Reduce stamina damage output when sprinting with the cardboard box. So if you're sprinting with the cardboard box and you run into somebody, you can knock them out pretty easily. Or if you stand them down with CQC and you just kind of like click the left stick down, you can knock people out very easily without even wasting any ammo. So that was pretty dangerous. So yeah, I mean, it was skillful. I mean, it's the way you use the game. You like using the game to your advantage. Just using some of the ploys and just using against the players, which is fine, but they're nerfing that, so great. Increased mech damage output from C4. Reduced mech damage output from the petrol bomb and anti-aircraft turrets. Okay. Reduced mech damage output when dash punching with Snake's blast arm. Reduced distance attenuation from explosion damage. Reduced distance attenuation from the M2000D's damage. Increased distance attenuation from the servo. Increased damage attenuation for mech damage caused by bullets. So all right, so let's start with the explosion damage. So basically they're reducing the distance. So you have to be kind of close to the I guess a C4 or a grenade for you to actually get hit from it. The M2000, that's a sniper rifle. So if you shoot you from a long distance, it's not going to hurt you as much. The servo, they're increasing the distance. So the further you are away from the servo, the more life you have. So if they shoot you with the servo, you have a better chance of getting out the way. So they're nerfing the servo basically. And the mech damage is increasing the distance. So yeah, there you go. Next section, knockback adjustments. Receiving an attack while sprinting will result in double the knockback. Oh, I get it. Yeah. So let me read more. Taking bullet damage within a certain range from the shooter will cause you to flinch and interrupt your sprint. Adjusted the overall knockback rate for all weapons. So it depends on the distance and the speed you're running at. So if you're running at a certain speed and somebody shoots you, you can now flinch. Just like how if a grenade will go off next to you, you can flinch if somebody shoots you, I guess, I don't know, maybe in the neck or something, or I don't know, maybe in the chest. But yeah, so they're going to make you slow down if you run that at a certain pace. Because say for instance, if you're infiltrated and you're sprinting God knows how fast and you're shooting them, if you're hitting a couple bullets in him, he should be able to slow down, I guess, you know. But I guess that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to accomplish that. People are running too goddamn fast in the game and you shoot them, but they don't stop running, and it's very hard for you to keep up with that. So yeah. So next up is mission adjustments. Now significantly reduce the interrogation effect when a defender successfully interrogates an attacker in Cloak and Dagger. So if you were to interrogate, if you're on the defending side and you interrogate one of the attackers, you would see like the rest of the people on your screen or where they're hiding. But now what they're going to do is they're going to decrease that effect time. So instead of it taking when you see the people for 10 seconds, you're going to see them for only 5 seconds. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult to find them. So you got to chase them down, hunt them down real quick after you get that interrogation. Defenders are now awarded a disc defense score if they stun an attacker carrying a data disc. So if you are one of those lucky people that just choke somebody out while they have the disc, you're rewarded a disc defend at that point. Players can now no longer respawn from a comm link if an opponent team member is in the progress of capturing it in comm control. This was one of my biggest pet peeves in comm control. If I were to kill you and then I grab base A, for example, I have to worry that you will come back to spawn up on comm A and then kill me and then take it back again. So basically that time frame, especially if I'm like by myself in a certain area, which I'm not supposed to, I'm supposed to be going with the team, but you know, if I see somebody taking a base, I got to take that base back. So that's the objective, you know. So if I'm there on base A, I have to look around to see if anybody gets spawned up, or if it might not even be the person I just killed. It may just be some random guy just going back to A, you know. So, and I have to look out for at least 5 seconds to see if anybody will spawn up, and that's kind of a nerve-wracking time for me. Basically, is worrying about who spawns up. So if you touch the base, no one's gonna spawn there. So that makes it a little bit more harder for the defenders, I must say. Yeah, I mean, I like this adjustment. Let me know what you guys think. Next up, players can I've read that already. Stunned / tranquilized players can no longer capture a comm link in comm control. So even if you went to sleep on the base, you can still capture it. So that's pretty stupid. Added additional respawn points in addition to comlink locations and the HQ in comm control. So this section is basically trying to alleviate the spawn camping that comes with comm control. Sorry, I was about to say cloak and dagger. So yeah, so that goes with that. So that's pretty good. So I like the fact that you have to actually move from your spot in order to protect your bases. I mean, the spawn camping is just stupid. Like, come on. Like, you could be going around doing something else. Spawn camping me and my teammates. Like, come on. There's no advantage to that. And plus, if I kill you, your buddy's just gonna spawn back at that same spot anyway. So you can spawn on your buddy there. So it's basically there's no winning with spawn camping, especially in comm control. Those games I just leave because there's no point. So I like the fact that they're giving you an extra spawn point to spawn somewhere else and try to win the game back. Balancing. Oh, this is a hot topic. Reduce the duration where it is possible to grab an enemy with CQC after pressing the CQC button. So if you grab them, they're going to decrease the time it takes for you to grab them again. So, yeah, that's okay. Adjusted the duration an enemy is disabled after a CQC hit or throw. Now, that's when they say adjusted, I kind of don't know what they mean. Could it be that you're on the ground a little bit longer or shorter? I don't know. We have to find out. Shorter the effective duration of interrogations. So if you interrogate somebody and you see the people on the screen, instead of taking 10 seconds for you to see everybody, for everybody's marker to go away, it's going to take 5 seconds for all the markers to go away. So, yeah, that sucks for interrogations. I'm not sure why they're nerfing that. If you interrogate somebody, that's pretty much good. Like, you actually snuck up behind them, you actually interrogated them. Come on, give me a reward. Oh, well, whatever. Placing markers on enemy players through interrogation now counts as an assist score when marked enemies are killed by allied players. So if you interrogate somebody and they're marked, if somebody kills them, you get an assist score, which I think is pretty neat. I think that's cool. Increase the time required for the scout class to complete an interrogation on an enemy. So before, if you're a scout and you interrogate somebody, instead of taking 3 seconds, it's going to take probably 5 seconds. So, yeah. Players can now only respawn from the HQ if Fulton by an enemy or committing suicide. So if you get Fulton or you commit suicide, guess what? You only spawn on HQ. That goes for, I think, every game mode. Enhance a noise range reduction effect mobility classes S and A. So it's gonna, you have to be closer to the enemy in order to see their to hear the noise from their feet if they're S's or A's. So basically infiltrators can only be S. So it's gonna be like if you have to be a certain meter away from the guy. So instead of 5 meters before, 3 meters is gonna be the new norm. Decrease the radius of noise caused by unique character Snake and the infiltrator class. So yeah, there you go. It's just basically the noise radius getting decreased. Adjusted the default loadouts for all classes. Okay, we have to wait until March 15th to figure that out. Shortened the invincibility time when buddies respawning. Adjusted the movement speed of the pipe action and hanging action while according to the player's mobility. So if you're an S, you can climb up those pipes a little bit faster now. The cardboard box slide action can no longer be canceled by triggering CQC. I don't know, a lot of pros rely on this. Like it was a pretty good it was a pretty good technique, but now they're getting rid of the whole thing. So wow, I don't know. You can't cancel it with CQC. Goddamn. Diving out the cardboard box action can no longer be canceled by triggering CQC. Players will now be temporarily invincible to CQC after getting knocked down to the ground. So if you do it like a dolphin dive into an enemy, you can't really CQC them after a time. It's gonna... Wow. I don't know who complained about this. I mean, yeah, it's a cool technique. Like, it's cool, but I don't know. A lot of people out there are hating on it. I don't know why, but whatever. All right, so other, and I think this is the last section. Thank God. Overall improved UI design, user interface design. That's cool. I've seen it. The Konami guy that was playing on Twitch the other day, I've seen the UI, and it looks pretty neat now. So cool. Improved matchmaking. Don't know what the fuck that means. You can say improved matchmaking all you want, but what exactly are you improving is what I want to know. Improved loading times. Okay. You need to improve the disconnection. All right? That's what you need to improve. I mean, fix. I don't mean, make it more potent. Added sandbags in certain parts of Black Site. Okay. Added a section to the iJoy top menu in free play to show the current number of players participating in matches, only on PS4. Okay, I'm not sure why Xbox One or Steam can't get that, but okay. A hit indicator will now be displayed on the reticle when hitting an enemy Fulton balloon. Okay, good. At least you know that you're actually hitting the balloon instead of like eventually trying to figure out if it's going to drop or not, or praying, Adding the BGM volume setting in the system menu, options, sound setting. So basically, if the music is too loud, if you like music but you figure it's too loud, you could decrease that volume. You could play with it a little bit. So that's cool. I like that. Disable the special camera that triggers when performing CQC. So you can move the camera a little bit around after you do a CQC. So that's cool because you want to get in position to like kind of knock somebody out if they're on the ground. So I like to like put my camera on the ground or point it towards the ground, or at least towards the head of where the enemy head is going to lie after the animation's over. So this is pretty good. That helps me a lot. After a round ends, all players will now be marked and their names would be displayed while the results screen are shown. So if you're running around after the match is over, you can see people's names. So if you see some asshole that Fultoned you in round 1, you can go up to him and CQC him and teabag him, do whatever you want, whatever. All right. So I think that is about it. So yeah, that is it. Wow, it took me almost an hour to get through this whole shit. So I know you guys have something to say, so say it here. Write down in the comments below what you think. Let me know what you think about Quiet, the new maps, all the goddamn adjustments that's coming down to MGO. Let me know if you're excited or sad, happy, fearful, if you're in pain or whatever. Just let me know. So yeah, there it goes. MGO version 1.1 coming out March 15th, free for everybody. And yep, this has been Jack Forever. And subscribe to my channel if you guys want to check out any of my MGO or my Metal Gear Solid 5 videos. And yeah, and I play other games too. Assassin's Creed, Halo, I have that on my channel as well. So without further ado, cutting this thing off. See you guys next time. Peace out.